I wasn't quite sure what I was going to work on these past 2 weeks. I was waiting for a timber order to arrive, and since my study room is practically finished, I'm sort of in between projects, in between truly finishing my study and starting the living room. But then I realized there's also very literally a space in between those rooms, which also deserves a bit of love. You know how I've got this door, my little room? And this curtain in this room, well, this leads to my actual entrance. This tiny space with a door to the attic, a door to my little room, the front door, and the entrance to the future living room. And I figured it's about time to do something different with this. Currently it has painted words, the original flooring, also wood, and I don't use it. I don't really use it unless I lock up the house. But this is the little hallway between the two main rooms, and I decided to paint it, which means that I need to spend some time preparing it, sanding it. I'm not looking forward to that, let's be honest, but let's do it. Apart from being entrance, I've also decided to give this room an additional function because I don't have anywhere when it's cold to really dry laundry. And I figured because I don't really use this room, I can actually turn it into a space where I can add drying opportunities. So I'm going to figure that out as well. But first, let's clean. I got myself some presents, which I was really excited to receive. I'm not really into accessories since they just end up collecting dust, and that's probably why my bookshelves are empty, but I really like good-looking functional pieces, which for me tends to mean cups and bowls and plates. I got these in a sale. They're not handmade or vintage or anything truly special, but I really enjoy adding this to the mismatch of pottery in my kitchen. I guess it breaks up the very clean lines I have everywhere. I am going back to painting. These are the secondary windows I haven't put up in my little room yet. I put them up everywhere else, but not in my room because I need a bit of work. Currently they are chipping and a very light blue, and I don't want to ruin my new room by putting in old windows. I got this timber order last night. It arrived down there. Doesn't look like that much, which is good because it is quite a bit, but I need to start putting this somewhere. I don't know where. A lot of these lengths are too long to put anywhere, so I need to figure this out. But I think I'm going to start by putting some in the guest house. I just need to take out my happy chair, my white happy chair, which is going in my room. It doesn't fit through the door, so I need to take off the legs. Oh dear! That was disproportionately exhausting. Okay, what about this? Some of this wood is really long and I have no idea what to do with it. I put away about half of the timber. The downside to buying things online is that so much of it is bad quality. And it's kind of okay if you use the wood for its intended purpose, like making walls or exterior walls, wall build-ups, but I use construction timber for pretty things inside, so I simply can't use anything that's really bad quality. So that's annoying, but can't really get around it. It's the only place that delivers. So yeah, okay. I did one layer for one set of windows. And I guess I'm going to continue painting. I always feel so fresh after taking a shower. I guess you can imagine that I don't really take that many. So it feels like such a luxury and I feel so clean, but the crazy thing is that living out here, you realise that you just don't really get that dirty. Like being in London and being on a tube every day, walking around the city, you just get so dirty and you're so sticky and there's black stuff coming out of your nose. And you just don't get that here. You just realise that things are so much cleaner. My bathroom and skincare routine has always been quite basic, but it's simplified even more. I used to always have some zits and I use quite aggressive products for that, but now that they're finally gone, I keep everything quite simple. I've never worn much makeup and I've never used foundation, except for some concealer for zits now and again. So now I just try to keep it simple and I try to find products that are good for me and for the environment as well. I mostly use Dr. Bronner's for showering and washing my hands and hair. It's biodegradable, so it's good for the environment, and I absolutely love the tea tree smell. It's my favourite. I've been using this for years now, so I don't usually do anything special. I've never had my nails done. I've never been to a beauty salon. I don't like people touching me. I don't like being pampered, but once in a blue moon, I like to do something for myself. Last year I got these face masks, which I never get, but because I never get them, it was such a treat. And also during that time I was going through the stress and the hair loss that I spoke about before. So doing something small for myself just felt really good. And I love feeling the soft skin. This year I've got something a bit different, which I'm going to introduce you to. It's a little bit different from what I usually do on this channel. But you know what? Winter has arrived, it's dark, and Christmas is coming. I think it's sometimes okay to do something that you wouldn't usually do. And I guess you could say this is one of those treats I was talking about earlier. So basically I've partnered up with FOREO, which is a Swedish brand, which I like because I'm in Sweden and they make skincare products. A little bit more luxurious than what I'm used to, but let's go crazy. So you know I said I loved soft skin. Well, one of their products is the Luna 4, which they've kindly sent me, and I've been using it for the past couple of months, and I think this little device is single-handedly elevating my simple living experience here to luxury glamping. I mean, I built myself a bed to sleep on and now I have this little thing, so yeah, I think I've peaked in life here. But really, it's a really nice device. It's a cleanser on this side and it massages you on this side. So they have an app which you download onto your phone, and then it actually downloads routines into your device. And you can use it freehand, but you can also do one of the routines, which I like to do. I just find myself sitting at my desk and using this thing. I'm a little bit more free-spirited, so I just take it out whenever I feel like I need a little boost. I don't know, it's just nice to take my mind off renovations now and again and kind of just do something small for myself. But also it gets rid of all of that sawdust and paint dust from sanding and everything that I do every day. So because don't get me wrong, even though I don't shower every day, I do cleanse my face every day. So if you're looking for something just for you or to lift your moods during dark days, or maybe even a Christmas gift, have a look at what FOREO has to offer, because it might be perfect for you. You can get a really good offer in the Luna 4. The first 100 people that use the link will get a 21% off, which is something that they don't usually do. So if you think it's something for you, then check out the link in the description. So thanks to FOREO for sending me the Luna 4, for partnering with me, and I hope that you guys like it as well. So yeah, this is definitely the most luxurious thing I have right now. Probably this or my Mitasol. I have two moisturizers which I really like to use. I love Skin Foods. Even though this particular one is for very dry skin and my skin is actually quite oily, my skin actually just really loves the thick kind of buttery moisturizers that you usually get for really dry skin. I don't know why, but anything specifically for oily skin doesn't do anything. Very simple, not expensive. Another thing that I realized is that my skin really likes argan oil. Just plain argan oil. It's such a nice oil to put on your face. So nowadays I tend to use this in the evenings, and then I use Skin Food in the mornings. My favorite deodorant right now is this Veleda spray. It doesn't stain, it doesn't stink. I actually made my own body lotion at one point and it really made me itch. I'm not sensitive to any ingredients, but I made my own, it did not work out. I've recently been using these ones. Another favorite of mine is Elizabeth Arden's 8 Hour Cream. This lip balm is amazing. It has such an interesting smell as well. It's so herbal. Before I came to Sweden, I actually started making soap, and it's one of the few things that I brought with me. Like, I brought my patterns for making clothes, and I brought all of my soap making materials, and I thought, I kind of had this vision of myself in Sweden living in a forest and just making soaps with like natural ingredients that I would find in the forest, and I haven't made any soaps yet. But I have hopes for making soap. So that's it for my skincare routines. Very different, so apologies for the interlude if this is of no interest, but I don't know. I can't believe it. This thing just happened. I'm here to cut the rest of the timber, and this stuff is for my floor in the living room and the wall in the room that I live in right now. The living room has so many little cuts that I spent hours last night and this morning making a plan how exactly to cut every piece of timber to make it fit in the room. I can't keep the lengths whole because they're 4.5 meters. They don't fit anywhere, so I need to calculate everything now. Turns out these lengths are completely different. They're 3.3 meters. I've never seen this timber in this length. I'm really confused. It's the same stuff. It's always 4.5 meter. So I spent hours calculating this. I guess the only good thing is that because it's 3.3 meters, I should be able to store it without cutting it. So I don't have to recalculate. Oh gosh, now I don't even know how it's going to work out. Just hoping that it goes with my design for the living room. Oh my gosh. cycling. I'm hoping I'm gonna make it in the snow. See you when I get back. I'll be fishing for a while. Oh dear. Oh, there's quite a bit of snow to get through before I get to the road. As usual, that turned out to be a bit of a mission again. I cycled really slow because the compacted snow gets a bit slippery in places, but I gave myself all day, left early, and picked up everything I'd hoped to buy. I managed to pick up a couple of things yesterday, most notably paint, a big pot this time, enough for the little entrance, and I got myself some caulk, some filler for all of the gaps. I'm hoping this one is going to do a decent job. So far, whenever I fill cracks or use caulk, it just ends up cracking again. According to the woman in the paint shop, this is quite a good one, so you can paint over it, but it is quite elastic. So we'll see, hopefully this is going to work. Ooh, it needs to dry for a really long time, that's annoying. So yeah, let's start by filling up some cracks. Oh, I even got some wood as well, the tiny pieces. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in a little bit. I'm actually really happy I decided to work on this room. I barely use it, which is why I've never given it too much thought, but it's definitely a space that really doesn't feel like my home. It's very much the previous owner's home, with the green paint and the small accessories that was still on the wall. And even though the green is kind of cute, I want this room to relate to what I'm doing with the rest of the house. Make it feel like mine. Adding the drying room function is really just a practical solution to a problem I've had since living here, so let's get this room started. This is what I'm planning with the trim I bought. I'm going to add these to the top of the walls, add the same shaker style pegs I put in the guest room, and then create sort of a rack that will hold the rods for drying clothes. But first, let's paint. I am very much hoping that this is dry enough because I am going to paint. Yeah. Let's just do it. Oh my gosh, look at that. This is going to be so different. This colour looks so different in this room. It looks a little more beige. I'm looking forward to this looking less green. I think the second layer is going to make a huge difference. I bet this will be a really calm, cute little space. This piece I'm making now is going to look really confusing, but essentially I'm making something removable that will fit around the pegs and will also hold the rods in place. So bear with me. In the meanwhile, I have been doing so much painting. I didn't film anything after that first layer because it's so boring. But this room now has 3 layers on the walls, and I did the ceiling as well. I have to say it looks really boring. The green was such a cute pop of colour, but I think I just have to get used to it. And this definitely pulls the two rooms together much more, so it's just so different and very pale in comparison. So, time for the next step. I may or may not have stolen these from the guest house, but I ordered more. Does anybody like this? Because I'm not sure. But, okay. Functionality wise, see, this is the thing. It's a little bit high. Oh, I can dry clothes here. This is the thing. I can dry items and I can still open the door to the attic. That's why it's so high. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to put pegs all around. I was thinking of doing like a drying rack option here, one of those ones that you build against the wall and then pull out. But also I'm looking for a place to put my bags. So I was thinking maybe I can do that here. I have no idea. I don't know. I feel like it needs more function, but it is a very small space. Also, I feel like the colors are a little bit baby room, which I'm not too excited about. I was always thinking of doing something functional on either side of the front door. So to build something small here. But I guess at least now I can use it to dry things.